Alright, I've been continuing on preparing parts that are going to go onto the fuselage. Like I said, there's heaps. I've made up this radiator, which is this section, and that sits on top, mounts to the back of the gearbox for the rotor head. Some of the diagrams are a bit iffy, like a bit vague, so be careful when you're putting it together. Just do all your dry fitting and that. So I've finished the engines, as in they're primed up and seam lines are all good to go, so that they're ready for paint. I mentioned about painting up the air filters systems, the different color. So I've cleaned them up. That's sitting on top of the fuselage. I used beryllium, AK extreme metal. It's got like a tint of gold in it. That's, you can see there, it's not shaking up, so you can see the I've looked at, like I said, I looked at images online of them, and quite a few of them have the air filters got like a yellowy gold tinge to it, and I just thought I'd go with that one. Like I said, just to add different interest to the look of the aircraft, because it's a green camouflage all over. So the engines and those filters are a focal point. All these, there's heaps of frames and that hold, like all this around the rotor gearbox. All these I'm gonna prepare them and paint them and put them on after I've painted the aircraft, because these are gonna attach to the gearbox, obviously, so I don't want to paint all that on. It'll be easier to paint off. I'm sure you can, but for me, I want to do it this way. So I've got the I've made up that box which I showed earlier, which they show sitting in the wrong spot. These are all the parts still to go in it, and that's the cylinder. I said that we know where it's going to sit on the fuselage, because that goes through into the slot on top of the fuselage. And then when we go back towards the end, there's a whole heap of other parts. Again, I'll paint these up, and when I do all this sort of work, when I'm painting heaps of parts like that are, you're worried if you're going to lose track of the part number, this is what I do. I prepare all my parts, small parts, on the alligator clips. I'll put a piece of Tamiya tape on there, and I'll just write on the part number. That way I'm not going to confuse myself. Right, I want to show you what I've done to the aircraft. Alright, so I've put these leg guards on, whatever you want to call them. This one is above, it's not flush to the fuselage, but it's flush everywhere else, so I'm assuming that's how it's supposed to be, because if it's out, it's a pretty big error. The other problem I had was this part, F31, which is this part. There's grooves, slots on the roof that sits into. It didn't fit into them properly, this piece here. I had to take a bit of plastic away for it to sit, so that didn't fit properly either. So this kit is far from perfect. So yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment.